Welcome to Monster Monday. So, alright, I want to say something right up front. I watched The Runes with my buddy Tony Crespo from I Come in Peace, spelled C-U-M, the I Come in Peace podcast. So there you go, a little shout out to Tony there. And I didn't take notes, and I was pretty damn tired from an extensively long day, but this is the one I wanted to do for Monster Monday. I was originally going to do it with Tony right then and there after we finished the movie, but it was like pretty damn late. We were both just like not in the mood to do it. We were both really, really freaking tired. And so yeah, I got nothing here script-wise, or, well, you know I don't write scripts, but I don't have any notes or anything. I'm just gonna wing this motherfucker. Plus, today I tripped over my light, one of my lights, and it broke. It's a little dark right here. How do you guys think this picture looks? Looks alright, right? Alright, anyway, so, The Ruins. Now, The Ruin. I feel like I'm fucking Stewie from Family Guy. Alright, here's a movie that, A, barely ever gets talked about and is awesome. And B, for all intents and purposes, should not work. This movie should be terrible. Really. I mean, when this idea was pitched, I know it was a book first or something. I think that the guy who... it says based upon the book by Scott Smith and then screenplay by Scott B. Smith and directed by Carter Smith. I have to imagine that the Scott Smith who wrote the book and the Scott B. Smith who did the screenplay are the same person, but why would they put the B there? I feel like they would only put that there to differentiate between the two guys. So the guy who wrote the screenplay just so happens to have the same name as the guy who wrote the book. And the guy who's... And they're all Smiths, just like me. Are they brothers? Like the writer and the director? Is the Scott Smith the same as Scott Smith? I don't know. I thought it was, and then I looked on the back to make sure, and now that I'm seeing the Scott B. Smith thing, I'm not sure, so I don't know. Alright, so but yeah, when you pitch this movie, even if it's a book first, when you pitch this movie like, oh, it's going to be killer plants. Now, I think a comparison has to be made to the movie The Happening by M. Night Shyamalan, just because it's killer, plants, essentially. And now, in The Happening, which I haven't seen in a long time, so correct me if I'm wrong, it's like... It's the trees that are like sending off something, or I can't remember, honestly. I just know that the trees are responsible for it. The wind is blowing and the trees have some kind of something that makes everyone kill themselves. It is a much different movie, don't get me wrong, but it's really one of the only killer plant movies outside of like Little Shop of Horrors that I can think of. And I know a lot of people hate The Happening. I personally thought it was fine when I saw it. I really liked elements, and I thought other elements just didn't work all that great, but overall I was like, oh, it was kind of fun, it was whatever. But I've never really seen an M. Night Shyamalan movie I didn't enjoy to some extent, but I did skip the two that I thought were going to be terrible, The Last Airbender and the After Earth movies. I had no interest in those, and so I skipped them. But this one, like killer plants that can mimic sounds and stuff, just sounds terrible. I mean, that's why I didn't tell Tony anything when we went into this. I was like, okay, have you seen this? Thinking he probably had. And he looked at it and he's like, no, and he went to turn it over, and I'm like, give me that. I don't want you to know what the fuck this hell, I don't want you to know what the fuck this is about. I want you to go into this completely blind if you know nothing. And let me tell you, man, that, and I will hope that he will comment below or whatnot and reaffirm what I'm about to say. I mean, if I'm right. But from what I could, tell when he was watching it with me, he was just like gobsmacked. He was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Like every 5-10 minutes when things would start happening, he could not figure out what the hell was going on until it was very obvious that these bushes were coming alive and killing these people or eating them. And it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch him kind of figure out the mystery, because that's why I hate trailers, and that's why I hate when people go into movies knowing what they are, because they get expectations. You know, if you just throw somebody into a movie and you don't know anything, that's something I would encourage people to do, is to just have their friends select any movie and to just press play. Not know what kind of genre it is, not know who's in it, nothing. And so when you watch the movie, you just let it unfold. And it's just so much better. Like, if you go into a movie, and I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse here, I keep saying the same shit on my channel, but I'm like encouraging people. I'm trying to get a movement started of sorts. Not really, but you know what I mean. Like, imagine going into a werewolf movie and not knowing it was a werewolf movie. And it wasn't like super obvious where it was like a full moon and this and that. Like, there was an actual mystery behind it. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then when he starts to turn, you're like, oh my God, he's a werewolf. Not expecting it. Not knowing it's going to happen. It would change the film completely than if you went in and were like, oh, it's the werewolf movie. All right, let's wait to find out when he turns into a werewolf. Like, oh, I know what's happening here. And that was what was great to watch Tony's reactions, having him know nothing about this film. Was like, he thought, like, when the movie ended, he turned to me and he was like, I thought this was going to be something like The Descent, because I said I needed to do it for Monster Monday. So he knew that there was a monster involved of some sort. He definitely did not expect it to be killer plants. But yeah, he thought it was going to be like The Descent. He thought it was going to be creatures down in the ruins, and you know, that's probably what you would gather from looking at the poster art and whatnot. But it works. It just works. There's something about this movie that works, and it's impressive, because it shouldn't. This movie should be dumb, and it just really isn't. It's very serious, and it's not hard to take it seriously, because I think the performances are all very good. I think the direction is very good. I think the situations are very relatable in a way. I think there's any moment in any movie people could be like, yeah, right, this and that, but for the most part, I feel like this is a pretty believable thing. And this is the setup for many, many, many different movies. Of course, you've seen it a million times. You know, these Americans are out in a foreign country, and they want to party, and they meet somebody, and this somebody tells them that they're going to take them somewhere awesome, and when they get there, shit's not so awesome. But this one isn't a setup. This isn't like Hostel, which I really need to do the Hostels, because I'm a big fan of both of those. I'll do the third one too, but let's not get into that. But I do love the Hostel movies, and I would love to defend them, because I know they got a lot of shit. In fact, I'd like to do the Cabin Fever movie as well. I'll probably do all of them as well, the 2, 3. The remake, I don't know about that. I haven't seen it, but them using the same script and whatnot, what the fuck? I don't get that kind of stuff. It's like the Psycho remake, pointless shit. But yeah, they're there, and this guy leads them, but he's a good guy. Like, the guy that's with them and leads them there is not taking them there to die. He's not trying to feed them to some, plant god to sacrifice them for the harvest, or, whatever. He's not trying to do anything to them. He's a good guy too. Like, freaking Jenna Malone, yeah. Jenna Malone. Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking, I don't know. Yeah, but Jenna Malone's character tries to fuck this guy, or at least kiss him, but she's clearly, like, down for whatever. And he's like, whoa, he, like, immediately brings up her boyfriend, like, whoa, don't you have a boyfriend? And where'd he go? And everything okay? And he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. And it's sad to see him perish the way that he does. The shit that happens to this guy, oh my God, this guy goes through hell. He along with the blonde girl, as I said, I didn't take notes this time, so I don't have names. In fact, I don't think there's any names on the back of this shit. Okay, so we got Jonathan Tucker in here, which I'm a big fan of Jonathan Tucker. I think he's fantastic in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, and he's made other movies that I think he's really, really damn good in. I think he's a really great actor. And he can play a really cool, tough guy, because he's really buff and in shape and pretty good looking, but he can also play like a really awkward, dorky kind of guy like he does in Texas Chainsaw, and he can kind of pull off both. and somehow he's able to transcend over his lisp. Like, he has a lisp which he kind of fully, what's the word I want to use here? Fully, I can't think of the word right now. God damn it. Takes on his lisp. That's the thing with no editing. Here we go. There's that perfect example of like, embraces. He fully embraces his lisp. See, I could just edit that like most assholes and just go, look at me, I'm perfect and I don't make mistakes and I can always think of the right word in the moment. No, you fucking can't. You write a script and you sit there and you're stumped and you don't know what to say. And yes, it's easy for people who just like to have streamlined perfection type stuff, and I don't care for that kind of stuff. I like more natural approaches. So I'm going to defend myself right here because I'm embarrassed that I couldn't think of that word, but it happens. We fucking have brain farts and we can't think of obvious words, but there you go. So he fully embraces his lisp in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, but in this movie, it's there, it's subtle, but he's able to pull off the young, cool, good-looking, almost a doctor kind of guy in this. He takes off his shirt and he's all fucking ripped. He's got the abs, he's got the chest, he's got everything. And it's like, wow, isn't this the fucking goofball from Texas Chainsaw? It's like freaking Carrot Top when you see him and he's all ripped. You're like, my brain is going to explode. And then Shawn Ashmore in this, I don't know what's up with his hairstyle in this. That was a pretty terrible hair there on him. But I like Shawn Ashmore. Assmore? Yes, he wants some more ass. No, Shawn Ashmore, I dig him in pretty much everything I see him in. And then Laura Ramsey. I'm not familiar with the actress, but I will say right up front, holy shit, this girl's tits are incredible. And she like takes off her top and she leans over, and both Tony and I it's a good thing I was watching it with a guy so we could just both kind of look over each other and laugh, because it was just like, wow, holy fucking hell, dude. Wow. And the gore is on point in this movie. It is unflinching. It is relentless, man. It is like, Tony was shocked at times. He's like, fuck, man, because that scene with the legs, the foreign dude's legs, and he like breaks them at the knee and he like cuts them off and he puts them in the freaking plants are like dragging them away. And I like that the plants can mimic the sounds of cell phones and talking. It just adds to another layer of their effectiveness at being efficient killers over probably thousands of years. You know, these like Mayan temples, and these guys have made this perimeter around it, and if anyone goes there, if anyone touches these things, they are quarantined to the place. Now, my big question, and I don't want to say this is a gripe so much because I don't really feel like it's a gripe, but it is a question I have that I can kind of come up with an answer, I suppose, is why the locals who are there protecting the temple, once they cross that threshold, that point of no return, that is the plants that Jenna Malone's character steps into, once she's been exposed to the elements, that she could go and infect the populace with some of the whatever the hell she'd be bringing back with her. Why not just kill them? Because they killed one of them, shot him right through the face, and that was another moment where Tony like gasped out loud in the moment because it's fucking brutal. He said it reminded him of like a Craig Zahler movie. That's how you say that guy's name, right? From Bone Tomahawk and whatnot. Where yeah, just his fucking whole face explodes like right up front, and you just don't expect it coming, and it's amazing. But it's like, if they're gonna shoot that guy right there in cold blood, why not just shoot the rest of them? Like, why even risk any of them getting away? You know you're not gonna let them go, and you know what's gonna happen to them when they go up there. You're just gonna surround the place and kill them. Like, that scene should have been them shooting at them, and they can't come up there. So it would make sense that they got away. Maybe there was like an entrance that they could go through and then climb back up. I don't know, but the only answer I can really come up with there is that the guys really don't want to kill anybody. They don't, they're not murderers. They're just trying to protect the world from this disease. It's kind of like the lonesome tale of Geordie Verrill with Stephen King, where it's like the infection spreads on him and then it's like spreading to the city. It kind of reminds me of that or something. But yeah, I mean, this kid gets infected and they keep telling him, go, 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 and he won't do it, and they shoot him. So I guess, as I said, the only real thing I can come up with is they're not murderers. They don't want to be responsible for killing people. Who the hell does? But they feel like this is their obligation. This is what they do. They make sure people stay away from them. They're not doing a very good job of that. I'll tell you that. If they can set up camp there and they're within the vicinity in order to come and camp there within a very short amount of time, and there's that many within a close proximity, where the fuck were they when they were coming up? They drove a loud ass fucking car up there. They were talking the whole way up. They were having fun, laughing. Why didn't anyone stop them and go, you cannot come up here? The only person who did at all was the taxi driver, who was like, no, 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 but you throw him $20 and all of a sudden, all his moral convictions seem to go out the window. But he drives them up there, he leaves them, and they're just yapping, this is so fun, and blah, blah, blah. And I think originally the guy ran up, and he probably just kind of left his post to take a piss, who knows? But he ran up, and I think he was trying to get them out of there before they crossed that, quote unquote, point of no return. Once they touch the plants, that's it. They got the dander on them or the pollen or whatever the fuck. And it was like, nope, she's done. But I feel like as soon as she touched it, she should have been shot. Like, why shoot the one guy but not her? It should have been him and him alone that got shot. And then, I don't know. The way it's done like that, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why shoot him but not her? And if you're going to shoot them, might as well shoot everybody. But none of them touched anything, so why not try to get them away from it and be like, no, I'm just quarantining your friends, because you just don't want to have to deal with them being like, no, my friend's coming, and they can't trust them, so they all have to die. It's collateral damage. I don't know. That whole scene is the only real question I have. It's not a gripe, as I said. I can come up with answers. It doesn't make no sense. It's just, I guess maybe if the scene played out a little differently, it would have kind of explained everything away for me. But that's that. When they go down, oh man, as I said, the foreign guy in this movie, whatever the hell his name is, when he falls down the well there, or whatever the hell it's not well, but it looks like a well. It has a thing above it and goes down, so whatever you want to call it. Falls through there, breaks his freaking legs and his back, and then they hoist him back up, and he's got his legs getting eaten away, and he has to have his legs cut off, and he's like, oh, it was just the visual. He didn't really feel that bullshit. He felt that. And that girl, the blonde chick, oh my god, all the things crawling around inside of her, and then she's just like, he cuts some of it out of her, and then they just wake up and she's like just cutting chunks off of her leg. It's fucking nasty ass stuff, man. It's brutal and it's awesome, and no, I just don't feel like this movie gets talked about enough. I don't feel like this is, I'll tell you this though, this is the good thing about it. Even though it might be overlooked, you know how much I don't like the words underrated, overrated. I don't use those words. But it's not underappreciated. I can tell you that, because everyone I've ever talked to who's seen this movie thinks it's rad. So I've never seen a negative word about it. I'm sure I'll see somebody in the comments below who doesn't agree and doesn't like the movie, and that's fine. Of course, there's going to be some people who don't like it out there, but as I said, this movie shouldn't work, and it does. And it's really kind of impressive to take a story like this that's so silly and make it work. So yeah, what else? Have anything else to say about it? Yeah, I really like the Jonathan Tucker trying to take control of everything, and Shawn Ashmore's character kind of rebelling against that and trying to get everyone else on their side. But Jonathan Tucker is just so dominating that he kind of just takes charge of everything, and everything kind of just falls apart. But I don't think Shawn Ashmore's plan would have worked either. I think they were just kind of in a fucked situation, and Jenna Malone. Now, did Jenna Malone go back and spread the illness? Like, did she spread? Because I'll tell you, man, if I was her, and I hate to be the person that's like, if I was there, this is what I'd do, but this is what I would do. Like, if I did get away, and, you know, he knew he was going to die. Jonathan Tucker knew he was going to die. What he was doing was sacrificing his life for his girlfriend. And this was a girlfriend that he just found out within a couple hours after he just had to watch all of his friends murdered or die, that his girlfriend was cheating on him. And he sacrifices his life for her still. So this is this dude is in love with this girl for real. But what she should have done is when she left there and she got away, the first thing she needs to do is drive that fucking Jeep right into the hospital and be like, you need to quarantine me and this Jeep. Like, everything here can be contaminated. This is what has happened. And then as soon as you got the okay or the all clear, or they did find the infection, they got rid of it, or they found the infection and you were fucked, you'd be like, look, this is where we were on the map. You need to eradicate this thing, because why hasn't that thing been destroyed? Like, if these guys are out there, what are they doing? Is it resilient to fire, as explained in the book? Like, do they worship this thing? Do they think that it's a necessary evil? Did they try many times and it just keeps growing back no matter what they do? Like, I want to know what about their eradication plan. Did they ever try to get rid of it? And if she's going to go out there, you know, they need to come back. I'd like to see a sequel where she came back and was like, we're taking this shit out. You know, or at least just her in the hospital telling them, and then like a team goes in to take this shit out and they're killed. That would be a great sequel. Is like, we're going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of this temple, and then you find out that there's more to it. And there's more. That'd be a great sequel. It's a bummer it never happened. This movie's pretty damn old now, but it's not that old. I mean, they're making fucking sequels to, you know, movies that are 40 years old. So do it. This would be a great movie to make a sequel to. Anybody dislike this movie? When they go down in there and they find out that it's like the plants that are making the noise and it's like vibrating. It's such a cool shot. And then she finds that girl that's dead in the plants, and then like, I don't know why she's not eaten away, because these things clearly are like eating flesh. They're flesh eaters, right? They're like Venus flytraps. Is that what they're doing? They're consuming flesh for nutrients, or, you know, but nobody lets them around, and the birds and the insects don't land there anymore. So it's been there for a long time. Is that what they're doing? I like the scene where they push all the plants that are coming up for them, which is terrifying, but it's like, it like pushes the body of the girl up with it, so it almost makes her animated like a zombie. Great shot. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I already gave enough credit to Laura Ramsey's tits in this, but I'm just going to give it one more shout out because they're really, really impressive. And it's a great movie. I really think that, I hope it's on Amazon Prime, which is how we watched it. I put the DVD in, and I fucking hate DVD quality, so I turned it off and I threw on the Amazon Prime one. I just hope that the Amazon Prime one is the unrated cut, which I don't know how much different it is. If it has like extra gore, did I miss out on the gore? Let me know. But this is pretty fucking gory, the one I saw on Amazon. But the one I saw in theaters was really fucking gory. So I'd be curious on what the difference is between these two. Let me know. Other than that, check it out. It's a fucking kick-ass movie. And yeah, no real gripes. All right, guys. Adios.